Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to part 3 of the one-shot that just wouldn't end. Theoretically, after this part, we are fairly close to the final area of the adventure that we're having. But knowing us and seeing how it's gone so far, there's every chance that we'll somehow stretch it out to another 2 sessions after this one. I guess we'll see how it goes. So, as per usual, this is in 2 parts, although they're not quite even in length. I've just split it at the point where we had a break, in case you're wondering about that. Otherwise, hopefully this is quite entertaining. Lots of fighting this time round, and I won't wake up tied to a tree, so that was a bonus for me. Anyway, without further ado, let's get stuck in.
And last time we left off in this cave behind the waterfall. You have been chasing this sniper that has been annoying you for the whole travel through the canyon. And what you entered upon looks like a treasure hoard of some sort. Most likely it belonged to the very young dragon you so mercilessly squashed.
It was... I killed it with too much love. I hugged it to death.
Clearly that's what happened.
Ubruk's never really been good with pets.
Yeah, and also in this layer were a lot of pet hunting drakes. I've been keeping the dragon company. And after quite a fight, you managed to take them all down. So there's blood dripping everywhere. What do you guys want to do?
Ubruk goes and lays down on one of the big piles of coins and proceeds to start snoring.
Hey, that's our pile.
So you have Geralt and Turin doing, well, I don't know, money angels in the coins.
Yes.
And then just Ubruk just falls into them, especially coins everywhere.
Gorthak steps over them all and starts to search the sniper.
The sniper carries with her now broken rifle that broke when she fell down the platform, but she also carries some rounds of ammunition for it, and 2 potions of... One second, just have to get those levels right.
The ammo
2
might
potions
still
of
be
greater
useful.
healing.
Sorry.
Of what healing, sorry?
2 potions of greater healing.
Okay. And that's it, yeah?
And that's it.
Gorthak will take the potions and leave the ammunition as being as he has nothing that he could use it for.
Probably sell it to some kind of collector.
You just throw it at the enemy really hard.
Good plan as always, Ubruk.
Well, looking around a bit more, also climbing up on the platform, you do find a chest which has some gems inside that sparkle as the light hits them, and they do look like they would fetch quite a price.
Is this chest full to the brim of gems, or is it...
No, it's more like 2-3 handfuls.
Then... should be able to take the gems out of the chest, and
Yes, you can.
then I'd like to do that.
Okay, and you can also mark down that they are roughly worth 600 gold.
600 gold's worth of gems.
You planning to share, Karthak?
Do these guys see it as being busy making snow coin angel?
They do see you looting them, but you don't necessarily see what you're actually picking up.
You could just say you found his stash of dirty scrolls. And we wouldn't know any better.
There's still a lot to look around for.
While still making money, Angel shouted like, "May I remind you, you wouldn't be here without us."
Yes, I know. And is that also a pile of chests and things up in the top right?
In the top right, yes. You wanna go look for them?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, in the chest over there, this one is filled with potions.
Okay.
And there are in total 5 potions of superior healing
Oh, wow.
inside.
Which is better, superior or greater?
Superior.
Okay.
Superior is 84 plus 8.
I think Ubruk could probably use one of those round about now.
I'll
Several.
take the potions. Is there anything else?
Yeah, going through the pile, there's a lot of coins again, and maybe some jewelry, but 2 things really catch your eye. One is breastplate, which has a gold dragon worked into its design. And the other one is a sword, which is, well, has a slight red tinge to the blade, and also has several spikes worked into the blade.
Okay. I'd like to pick all of those things up, and being as there's a lot of things, drag them over to this platform in the middle here, and sort of just dump them all down, and just start sorting through them all.
I don't suppose there's any fancy looking battle axes in that pile as well.
No, the only thing that's really catching your eye is that sword and the breastplate.
Did you dump the gems as well or not?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the breastplate and wondering like, for some reason that seems familiar. Can I, while everybody's looking at the other loot, I want to check the 2 coin piles and try to figure out is the reason why there's 2 piles of them?
Yeah, I was about to switch from my Money Angel to more of a freestyle swing motion to check if there's anything underneath or if there's anything weird about this pile.
Alright, yeah, both of you roll either investigation or perception checks. How do you prefer?
Oh, not with advantage, so 8.
Going through your pile.
Oh, actually even natural 1 to be precise, actually.
Alright, going through your pile, you do find thousands of copper coins, the occasional silver piece, and then as you are already halfway into the pile, keeping shifting around, 1 gold piece falls into your hand. But you don't find any clues to why there might be 2 piles.
Can I ask how many potions it was again?
In total, you got 5 potions of superior healing from the upper chest, and from the sniper's body, you looted 2 potions of greater healing.
Okay, thank you.
Those 7 in total. And yeah, Geralt, as you swim through, at the bottom of your pile, you find old scales and some broken pieces of claws, which you think do belong to the dragon you smashed to pieces.
Okay. I dig it up a bit so it's more obvious and head first into the second pile.
And in the second pile, you do find the same remains, but These ones do have a slightly darker shade of green than the ones in the other pile.
I think that one here belongs to Mama Dragon.
Possibly. I was wondering if dragons babies... Is it possible they literally use the pile of coins as like a nest? Would that imply there was more than one dragon? This is me wondering. I don't think Ubruk would... Like, Ubruk's pretty much just passed out from exertion and pain at the moment.
Not from the sparkling coins?
I don't know if Ubruk is really that acquisitive in terms of money.
What? How much? You said there was a fair few coins in that top right pile. How many was it again?
If you would, I don't know. Yes, it's getting late-ish. Yeah, so night is setting. Do you want to take a rest?
I don't
It's pretty much like half snowing on the pile already, so you would appreciate it.
Okay, so during the rest, you can take the time to count the coins, and you can also work. Well, I don't know, work around the magic items and see what they can do.
Okay.
Are we
I
doing
think it's too early still here.
Are we doing a long or short rest?
That's up to you guys.
Because I'm kinda out of spells. I mean, I could still kill a dragon, obviously, but it would cost me a bit more effort.
Well, we can sleep tonight.
Yeah, I'm also running low on spells, so I can do a bit, but a long rest would be appreciated.
Well, I mean, I'm out of just about everything and also hit points, so yeah. Long rest would be good.
I'm good to go.
The only qualm I have about having a long rest here,
I found a
Is-
volunteer to keep watch.
if Mother Dragon comes back.
I mean, she might be slightly annoyed if there is a mummy dragon.
Looking around for the scratch marks that are around the piles, you do not think it's a full-grown dragon that made them.
But are they small enough that it would be a little dragon such as we encountered?
They're a bit bigger than the ones from the dragon you encountered.
Okay. Well, Ubruk's just unconscious right now either way, but it
Yeah, okay.
might not
I
be
mean,
the
if you just
best
take
idea.
that other pile Ubruk and it comes cuddling, then you just cuddle it back and everything's good, right?
Be fine.
No, I think it might take one smell of a brook and fly away.
Yeah.
Alright, so
It-
let's rest for the night. I'll take the first watch. I'll also track the... Can we identify items with a long rest or not?
Yes, you can.
Do we
I'll
maybe
take
wanna-
the
I mean,
armor and see if there's anything special about it. The breastplate.
just saying I have a spell for that.
Do we maybe not want to go outside a ways? Maybe? Rather than...
You said you were already out, so
True.
I presume we're sleeping here. Carol is snoring, so...
I'm not touching a smelly bug, man.
Well, I suppose... No, okay. Alright, we're doing this then. This can't possibly go wrong.
I also want to cast alarm on like 20-foot cube in front of the waterfall. How big is the waterfall?
20-foot cube would cover it.
I will do that.
Alright, so Turin, you're taking the armor. Is anybody taking interest in the sword?
Is it one-handed or two-handed?
Looking at it, it could be used for both.
Okay.
Bastard sword.
So it's a long sword.
Yeah, basically.
I would take interest in it, but I don't have identify, so.
It's okay. If you spend time with it, you can figure it out.
Then I would do that after I split everything up.
All right.
So just to
Doing
do
it
this, can I just do this quickly? Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Everyone gets 120 GP worth gems. Everyone gets 1 superior healing potion.
Can just type that in.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Goldfish memory.
Oh, sorry. Clicking all the wrong things.
And I don't know who would get the. Who would get the greater healing potions?
I already have one myself, so I don't need it.
I mean, we can best give the others to Ubruk.
Yeah.
Would make sense, I guess.
Okay.
Or you. And how many are there? 1 or 2?
There's 2 greater.
Then Ubruk will take 1, and you can take 1, I suppose.
I guess I could. And how much gold was it? Possible.
Yeah, after you've counted it, you come to a total of 400 gold pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, and shitloads of copper pieces. Question is whether you want to carry them around with you.
Maybe worth just to take the gold piece and the silver pieces.
That would be 400 gold pieces and 1,000 silver pieces in total.
I think we should just take the gold even.
Well, it's only 500 silver, 200 silver pieces each. So
Yeah, but it's like metal pieces. They're heavy as fuck.
So while you guys decide on what to do with the money, Turin is taking the first watch. Is anybody else taking a watch?
I'll take watch as well.
Okay. Alright. So then I would like to have Turin and Gothak both roll perception rolls for what happened. What do you see during your rest?
I would like to. Hang on, it's 2 hours. Well, for the first hour of our watch, I would like to cast a rope trick. So we use rope to climb up into an extra dimensional space that we can see out of, but we cannot be seen.
Alright.
Just outside of the waterfall, basically.
Outside of the waterfall.
Yeah, so we can see there's something coming from longer away, further away.
Okay. So, okay.
How does that work then? Surely the little window is going to be kind of facing downwards? Seems a bit not very useful for looking out of. Or am I just reading that wrong?
We made terrible experience with discussing D&D physics, so...
That was a fun session though.
Yeah.
Maybe
Let's
it's-
just treat it in a way that there's the window where you actually need it.
Maybe it's a pocket dimension so that you could see all around in the material around. But the dimension itself is super small.
Good enough.
I don't know.
But yeah, as you look out during the night sky, during the night, you just see the night sky. Nothing particularly special happens. So after now, you climb out of your pocket dimension again. Do you go back inside?
I guess we have another hour of woods to do, so do that first.
Yeah.
And then go back inside. Get Kirald awake. Wake up! We are done.
Yeah, as you cross the
I did
waterfall,
volunteer.
a mental alarm goes off in Lucian's mind,
Well,
alerting him to somebody crossing.
I guess set the people, so it's anyone that's not part of the group will
Okay.
trigger that alarm.
Good stuff. In that case, you sleep completely. Good. Alright, Gothic, your watch is starting. Also, a perception check, please. So you're part of the watch. You do hear some thundering coming from what you think is the center of the valley. And you also do see some green light flickering across on the in the distance. But after not more than 30 seconds, it's gone again. And it all returns to an eerie quietness. Nothing else of note happens during your watch. So, as you all wake up rested and completely restored to your health and spell slots, you do have some new magic items. You actually know what they're doing now. First, I'd like to remind Ubruk that he still has the Hat of Disguise. He acquired at the...
Oh, was that what that was? Yeah, I've got noted down a wizard type hat.
Yeah, I forgot that last time since you joined. In a unique way. That's a Hat of Disguise.
Okay.
And the plate armor terrain you got there is called Dragon Guard. It's a +1 breastplate. And it gives you advantage on saving throws against breath weapons of creatures that have the dragon type.
Nice picture.
And Gothak, you figure out the sword you've got is a sword of dragon slaying, which gives you a +1 bonus to attacks and damage rolls. So it's basically just a +1 magic weapon. But when you hit a dragon with this weapon, the dragon takes an extra 3d6 slashing damage.
Okay. Is this a long sword? Yeah.
This is a long sword.
Okay.
What does attunement specifically mean? Because I've been carrying the hat around with me, so is that considered attuned, or do I have to be actively like wearing it?
It's like usually a short rest or long rest to attune.
So it's
Since you spent already 2 nights with it,
Yes,
you're
okay.
definitely attuned to it.
So I need to look at what the disguise self spell does then.
I also would like to have attuned to the Vent of Binding.
Alright. Consider yourself attuned.
So any of the other party use a sword?
Had some interesting dreams, that's for sure.
Well, Ubruk uses battle axes, and you think that the dragon slaying sword could also shrink in size when you attune to it, so it could be wielded space-wise like a short sword. But also, if you would use it two-handed, it would grow in size. A costume to your needs.
Then I'd turn around to everyone and say, you guys don't mind if I keep this, do you?
I have no use for it, so go ahead. For my part.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I'm pretty good with a sword, but I don't think.
Okay then. Cheers, lads.
Ubruk is idly trying out the hat and makes himself look like Turin by accident and looks very confused.
Ah,
Hey, look! I'm you.
yeah, nice trick. I I use this guy's myself to turn into Ubruk.
Ubruk kind of blinks slowly and then grins. He's never realised quite how handsome he looks before.
Does this guy's self also mimic the smell?
No, it's only just the appearance.
Should I have a spell for that?
Well, actually, I'll use prestidigitation to make myself smell like Ubruk.
Gonna throw one in as well, because that smell needs 2 spells.
Yeah, you do have a perfect copy, both of Turin and Ubruk standing next to each other.
Confusing, isn't it?
No
And
more
quite
so
handy.
than usual, I suppose. Ubruk finds many things confusing.
I'm gonna, while still being disguised as Ubruk, I'll still put on the Dragon Guard, even though I need to attune to it later, but just so I don't need to carry it around.
Alright.
I have a question. Is secondary damage the crit damage? D20.
Sorry, what?
What?
For weapon stats, you have like damage type, modifiers, properties, and secondary damage.
If you have, for example, the flaming sword, I think then part of it is slashing, and the second damage type is flame damage. I think.
Isa, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the longsword +1 because it's pretty much the same as the Dragon Slayer.
The stats in Roll20, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you? Is it like the 1d8 and 1d10?
Yeah.
Yeah. 1d10 is when you're wielding it two-handed because it's versatile.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, Ubruk could have used that in place of one of the battle axes, but I don't know. I think he's quite attached to the battle axes. We'll see. Might come to regret that later. Maybe.
Oh, you never know.
I mean, having 2 different weapons when you're dual wielding that, I mean, that's like wearing old socks. It's just weird.
Yeah, you would definitely need some practice to get used to the different weight. Yeah, there's a nice new day waiting for you. The birds are singing, but you can't hear that over the waterfall. What do you want to do with your day?
The big piles were all basically copper and some silver, right?
Yeah. The most of the gold coins were in the pile up in the right corner.
Did we actually say we're going to take those after they got counted?
Well, I sort of split them up into different piles, and you could take one each if you pile each if you wanted,
Well, clearly
or you could leave it.
a bigger pile means more money, so Ubruk just scoops some of the copper and silver into his money pouch. Because a bigger pile must mean more, it's worth more, right?
You're thinking.
So how much do I get?
So you do see Turin picking up, you would say, 250 copper pieces and another 20 silver.
Okay, there we go. I've got lots of money now. So much money. Look how heavy my money pouch is now.
Did you want to take the superior healing potion and the greater healing?
Yeah,
And the
I've
gem.
marked those down. And the gems. Ubruk always likes shiny things.
Shall we continue then?
We should. Question is, where to?
Ubruk shrugs the mine, I guess.
Was there I'm trying to remember, a road that still led further?
Last time, as you came through the canyon and into the valley, you had a road going through the center, which also was following the river. And then you had the wild game trail that led you to the waterfall and these caves, which kind of sneaked along the valley walls. And to the western side, you had just forest, basically. You can either, from this direction, backtrack to the entrance of the valley and take the center road, or you think if you keep skirting around the edge of the valley, you will also get towards, remembering the beer doodle, you do think you will get towards the keep as well.
Which would be which way would be faster?
Ubruk could probably make quite a good guess at that, actually, with the Wanderer.
Since you would have to backtrack a little, the center road would be a little bit slower than the one floating around, but you do think there wouldn't be too much of a difference, maybe half an hour. Or matter from which direction you want to approach.
Gorthak would also like to inform the group of what you did see last night. Of the green fire and the thundering.
Yeah, there was some thundering over the valley, and also some green light crackling at the end of the valley.
I turned to Kirill then and asked, like, what do you make out of that?
Well, what kind of light? Like the lights you see up in the north, or fire, or dragon fire, or sparkly fairy fire?
More like the lights you see in the north, but with a bit meaner aura to it.
Magic, Ubruk says.
Have I
and
ever
just
heard of those?
spits on the ground.
Give me an Arcana check.
Me? Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
You do not have heard about those specifically, but you do think it's definitely connected to necromantic and evil sorts of practices and rituals. Especially those Mina aura gave it away to you.
I share those insights, but like in the same sentence, I try to make up some cool story with this somehow. It's like theory crafting, what kind of story I could make out of this and stuff.
So he does tell you a story about some clans out in the steppes of the very west, where the horse warriors do have these rituals where they're riding in circles for the whole day to get a lot of dust swirled up, and then during the night they do sacrifice some children, and that also gives these really green, dark green, mean light spectacles in the sky, and the thunder might be the thundering of the hooves of the horses.
Damn,
and he
I'm
thinks
pretty good
this-
at that.
Yeah, the audience is captivated.
Turin rolls his eyes.
Ubruk rolls his eyes at that. Very rude of him.
Well,
Turin nods
What
and tries
about-
to look intelligent.
Turin
Uh,
looks like he has a spasm.
Can I slap both of them?
Yes, you may.
Well,
I'd like to try and dodge. I'd like to try and react and dodge out of the way.
Makes
how's
a
her height
dexterity
working? Like,
saving throw.
Ubruk is usually a bit taller than I am. Well, Turin is, well, basically a dwarf.
Yeah, so if you're trying to to slap Ubruk Turin, he's lower than you. And if you try to slap Turin Ubruk, you would have to reach up.
I stand there trying to figure that out for a moment and then just give up. Like,
Yeah,
get my hand in the position for a nice slap, but readjust because height, but it's the other way around. Except it's inverted. Let's just go on.
Hey, Turin, you don't even have to attempt to dodge because he's just slapping over your head. And Turin, he just slaps against your chest.
Ubruk, you mean?
Ubruk's starting to find this increasingly confusing, and so he casts a spell to make himself look like himself.
You have two.
Not
Ubruks
realizing he
next to
could
each other.
just, take the hat off. He's now disguised himself as himself.
Oh, that's good.
It's illusions over illusions here. But the smell was identical.
Well, that's how you know it's a good disguise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's two Ubruks now that smell the same. Well, I mean, part about the ritual and child sacrifice seems to match at least. Kazak, any point which way it was? And I start heading out.
Towards the end of the valley?
Yes, towards the center and the end of the valley.
Alright. Let's get going then. I would like to keep an eye out if we can take a shortcut somewhere through the forest or something like that. That seems it would make us faster.
Do you want to approach via the road or skirting the walls of the valley?
The faster way.
The faster way. No, you have to pick one.
I think the less obvious approach might be better.
Alright, so you're skirting the valley. You come across, skirting the valley wall, one or two minor waterfalls.
Now Turin.
Ubruk number 2 checks behind both and doesn't find anything. As you round around or get around the valley, it starts curving inwards, and you do think you're reaching the end of it. And you're in, or well, Ubruk 2, in the distance you hear some water flowing. And you do think that is the river that sprung in the canyon and is leading down here. And you do take a shortcut there, which saves you a couple of minutes at most. And you approach the river, and currently there's a tree line still in front of you, but you do see some speckles of a grey wall shimmering through.
A grey wall.
You know, some stonework
Okay, yeah.
What, on like the other side of the river?
on the other side of the river,
Okay.
just through the trees. Nothing safe yet. You're still quite a distance away.
Is it fordable, the river, or is it? I mean, is it like fast current? Is it deep?
Considering it's the same one, or I think it's the same one you've been through earlier. It's a couple of feet deep. You can easily
Okay,
cross
it's not-
it.
Okay, it's not changed. It's not.
So it's just making more noise.
The stonework, does it look like a residence or does it look like a keep walls? Or fortifications?
It looks like fortifications and also dwarven build.
Well, there was a keep mentioned near the mine, so...
Yeah, seems to be the right place.
While Lausian is... while Ultra is BRBing, Ubruk again disappears behind a tree. All this running water is... I don't know, I guess he's just a bit suggestible like that.
Damn it, why don't we have it's a simple spell? That would be great. Do we see any movement?
From where you are now, you can't really discern much, but...
How far?
Yeah, you can't see anything yet.
How far across the river are the walls?
From where you approach, 30, 40 feet.
Okay, so can we get closer without crossing the river to check if there's anything moving nearby?
Yes, you can. Do you want to approach stealthily?
Yes.
Right, then everybody who wants to approach stealthily, please do a stealth check.
I want to give to an inspiration. It's not too late.
Oh god. I was gonna say, yes, it's not a natural one.
Just remember in time to give him the inspiration.
Well, yeah, just sure, all come just to so we can all look at the same thing.
So you all do forward, and Ubruk does lag a little bit behind, and you hear this huge coin pouch clinking a little bit with every step he takes as he follows you along.
I turn to him and just say, like, I'm so glad you took all those coins.
Ubruk, just imagining that Turin is jealous, just gives him a kind of sarcastic thumbs up. Is that a thing? I don't know. He tries to do that.
But it's loud and heavy. Why is it good?
Because it's more. More is good, right?
But he'd order.
Alright, now closer, looking through the trees. You do see that the keep is surrounded by 12-foot high walls that have at the two corners that are facing the valley, 2 twin-story corner towers that are roughly 20 foot in height. And you also see on the battlements that there is some movement. You do think you see a cobalt snout every once in a while peeking up there. The towers do have arrow slits. You don't see whether they are manned or not currently, but there's the possibility to shoot out from them from really good cover. And you also see a huge main gate, wooden and currently close to you.
On the side facing the river.
From
that
roughly the side facing the river. I
Okay.
will just move you over so you can see. Oh wait, first I need your tokens there. Give me a second.
So charging
we are,
straight across the river is probably not a great plan.
we are looking for something that is under the keep, right? Like those children and stuff. Should we look for a back door, maybe?
We're looking for a lot of horses.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
There you go. Do you see?
Yep.
That map looks like it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, come on, let me zoom in and out. There you go.
So it's all relatively open ground around the...
Yes, you do also see some tree stumps from fallen trees, or felled trees. And you do think they've been felled on purpose.
Is anyone else seeing +5 to AC randomly in the middle of the map?
Oh, give me a second. That's not supposed to be there. That's just to me too, for actually remembering what some things do. There you go. These ones are supposed to appear there. So you do see.
Can I take the AC back?
No.
Is this a waterfall?
Where?
This here on the.
This is a waterfall. It's also there on that border, if you want. It's where the valley ends, and it climbs back up into these canyon walls that are 250 feet tall.
Well, if there's a back door and British Roads behind that waterfall.
You should stop listening to weird stories, really.
You sure hope that you want me to do that? Just look at him smiling.
Well, I guess we should check it out either way. But I was thinking, I mean, we could maybe, like, all this water flying around there, like, we could maybe magically create a lot of that, make it look like some sort of fog, use it to sneak through. Actually, that would probably just attract more of those little fuckers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you want to get closer, we could backtrack a little bit near the river and cross it a little bit further away and come from the south instead. That way we wouldn't have to cross the river so openly.
Well, that's true as well.
Is there much in the way of wildlife around?
Wildlife. You didn't have spotted much in the vicinity and during your travels.
Because I've got this speak with animals spell that I've never ever used up till now. Or the other possibility is I could actually disguise myself as an animal. Although it would have to be quite a big animal.
Wait, Pointy, can I get one step back? You have speak with animals, but last time you saw a giant owl next to you, you didn't think about, hey, let's use the speak with animals
It was in the
spell
middle
I
of
have.
a fight, and this giant owl appeared, and it was big and scary.
Or with the bear?
Well, you know, it was cuddly. Give me a hug.
Yeah, and by the way, Pointy, you can change your body type, so you must adopt the form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs. And you can be like 1 foot shorter or taller, so yeah.
So would I be thinking of, what was it, like polymorph?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't change myself into a duck then?
No.
But as for your question, if you would search around a little bit in the woods and have the wind coming from your front, you could possibly find an animal to talk to. The wind changes, though. You are in bad luck.
I don't know, Ubruk's going to look around and see if he can find a rabbit or something small that he can grab.
Okay. Roll for perception check.
Because that's gone well, me grabbing things. That's not terrible.
Right. You do wander off a little bit from the group. Maybe 50 feet into the woods. And you do spot a rabbit hole.
So I thrust my arm in and have a feel around and see if I can pull anything.
With a slight squeak, you actually close your hand around something that's kind of fluffy and pull it out. And it's actually a fox that's clawing at your arm.
Okay.
And not a rabbit.
I probably barely noticed the scratches.
The Trin looks really surprised that actually worked.
So how... Okay, I'm going to click the thing. How do I go about this?
I'll move next to Ubruk to hear what the fox is saying.
So basically, my idea is that I'd ask it if there's anything, if it knows if there's anything behind the waterfall. So I do whatever I do that I need to, you know, cast this spell.
Alright, so it's a ritual taking 10 minutes. So you stand there with the fox in your hand and start chanting.
Okay.
And the fox doesn't really calm down, it just keeps screeching and scratching. And as soon as the spell takes effect, you do hear a cacophony of swear words coming from the fox, which you think the gist is that you should please let him off, you impolite thug.
Ubruk
Can't just go around snatching people from their homes.
kind of looks at the fox and says, "Now, where did you learn words like that? I'm sure your mother would be ashamed."
He looks a bit sheepish at you as he says, as he answers you, that he learned that from the reptilian guys over at the big stone construction.
Figures. Nasty bunch. So, Mr. Fox. Mrs. Fox? Ms. Fox? I don't want to presume.
Mrs.
Mrs. Okay. I'll let you go in short order. I just want to ask you a few questions, that's all.
He does calm down a little bit and stops the scratching for now.
So, talking of the big stone fort over there full of nasty lizard things, my friends and I are interested in finding a way in. Do you know if there's any other ones besides the big wooden portal gate at the front?
Yes, there's another way in. You have to climb up really swiftly. On the southern side, there the wall is a bit more cracked, and you can really easily climb up if you have nifty feet and paws. But
So,
for someone your size, might be a bit tricky.
so do you mean sort of like in this kind of area?
So what did you pick?
On the western edge. It's like there.
Oh no. But
Oh, there. Okay. All right. Just to get some sense of where it means. Okay.
yeah, from she adds, from the waterfall side, it's not so good for climbing because the water spray is making it slippery.
There's no secret hidden entrances through the waterfall or anything like that.
And the waterfall, there's nothing but rocks. And I do not know of any hidden entrances. And I rarely go there. They tend to shoot at me and try to hurt me when I come close. But
Nasty fellows.
I sometimes steal in of the southern side to steal some of their food. They do have some good food.
That is good to know. So, Lassie, did you do that at the same time, or are you listening into this conversation? Do you have any questions? Ultra.
Oh, us.
Hello?
Oh, sorry. No, not really actually. The only thing I wanted to do is apologize to the fox for your behavior of dragging it out of the hole.
Well, you know.
Thank you very much. Finally somebody with manners.
Well, it seemed like the quickest way to do it. I suppose I apologise as well. And Ubruk actually fishes out a bit of, like, dried meat or something, gives it to the fox, and then puts it back down at the entrance.
She snatches it out of your hand and returns back to her home.
I turn to Gerald and I was like, I don't know what the fuck they are doing, but I bet they don't get any useful information out of that.
I mean, it's just a fox. Like, what does a fox say? You know?
Yeah.
No, no.
I think you should make a song about that.
Ubruk
I will once I
immediately
know that
dashes
this was
off into
actually
the
an
woods
amazing fox.
and is never seen from again. Leaves you all to your fate.
Well, at the point that when you relay all this information, Geralt will be absolutely baffled by the intelligence of that fox and totally make a song out of it.
He'll also inform you that foxes are some of the smarter animals around.
Turin actually does turn to Ubruk and he'll say like, well, what did the fox say?
And Ubruk just kind of... First off, he relays the bit about them having some quite nice food. And then he says the part about there being a way over the wall to the southwest.
Not behind the waterfall?
Nope, just rocks apparently.
I don't trust that fox.
She seemed nice enough, although she had a bit of a mouth on her, I have to say.
Well, what do you think when you're dragging a fox out of its hole?
Well, yeah, still, there's no need to be rude.
So, what's on the south side?
There's a way to scramble over. Apparently the rocks are cracked and it's not there's enough of a slope that you can scale over and get into the fort that way. So she said.
Looking from that side of the river at the trees, the cliff face, and how far it goes over, how high the fort goes, how easy would it be to actually climb up there without getting shot by 1,000 kobolds and then get to the fort somehow? Does there seem to be a way into the fort from top?
Well, if we
From the
backtracked a ways and crossed the river and then made our way around that side of the fort, we could probably check it out a bit better. But that seems to be the only alternative than the front entrance.
After you would have climbed up those 200 feet of sheer cliff wall, you can probably lower yourself down towards the top of the keep itself, but you would be really, really open to get shot at any time, basically.
So, unless there's some other secret way on top of that, I don't see it being any better than assaulting straight on. I see it being worse actually, because it's a longer way to go down. From here, at least we can perhaps try to break open the gate. It's made out of wood, right? The gate?
The gate is made out of wood, yeah.
Or try to throw a rope, or I don't know if you have a grappling hook on top of the wall and climb up. I mean, I can always shoot from afar anyway.
Ubruk says, if only we had someone that could summon an army of foxes or some other creatures. If only.
If only. As long as it's giant snakes, I'm the man.
I mean,
Otherwise we might have to contact the closest.
if a load of giant snakes slithered up and over round the back, it might cause a bit of a distraction.
I will also want to look at Turin and say that if he wants to shoot from afar, we might be able to use their Cypress way of doing it against them.
Lure them out.
Well, a giant eagle can probably carry a small person like you.
Invisibility spells exist.
Also.
I mean,
We're talking about
it's
this.
usually just like a story you tell at campfire, but I'm able to do such magic, so I mean, could just go in the invisible.
Turin raises an eyebrow and like, I thought there were such stories that you told.
Well, I'm pretty amazing. But yeah, actually, it's quite easy. So.
Lucian, you can turn into a bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something else on top of the cliff, we could perhaps check it out that way first. Better get a bird's eye view on what's inside the keep as well.
Yeah, sure, I'm fine with that.
Rather in the courtyard, but same point.
Ubruk, on being reminded of Lausian's abilities, transforms himself to look like Lausian, because then maybe he can do it as well? That's how it works, right?
Turning into Lausian yourself and not feeling special in a way.
He concentrates
that you
really
could...
hard and tries to turn himself into a, I don't know, a bear or something.
You already feel your body growing, and when you open your eyes, you're still Lausian.
When he's concentrating really fucking hard, I want to summon some sparkles. Well, sparks, not sparkles, sorry.
No, sparkles.
As you open your eyes,
Yeah,
you
fuck
suddenly
yeah, sparkles.
you see sparkles.
Guys, I can do magic now!
Congratulations.
And then he looks down and realises that his hands are still human hands and looks kind of disappointed.
I want to look at her and say that if he wants to, you know, he can join me while looking at what is in the courtyard and stuff like that.
I think just a normal bird is less inconspicuous. What's the word?
Conspicuous.
Conspicuous than a giant owl with a rider on top.
Yeah, that might be an issue then, because it's only a giant owl or a giant eagle.
Can't
Same
change
thing
into
if
a
you
normal
fly
owl
really high.
or eagle.
But
Nope.
But what if you change into a giant eagle and just fly really far away? Then they'll think you're a normal-sized eagle.
Wow. But why can't you turn into an eagle?
Was made me choose shapes, and I haven't picked a normal eagle because I thought a giant eagle would be good enough. So, I mean, I can still check that space out if you want, but that would be as a giant eagle.
Up to you if you want to get shot.
I mean, as a giant eagle, your eyesight should be pretty gigantic as well, right?
Yep. That is true.
I mean, if you fly really high, well, maybe.
Okay, then I'll get some distance from the castle, and I'll turn into a giant eagle and fly up high into the sky.
Right, how high do you want to go?
Let's say like 350 feet, maybe, ish.
Oh, right. So, as you approach the keep, you do get a better look over the area. And what you do see is that from the top of the cliff, there is a larger lake dominating that area, which is going into the waterfall and pouring down.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a lot of a flat rocky mountain terrain on top of it, some huge boulders, and that's about it. Nothing else of interest. You do spot and I don't know, terrain-wise. But as you come closer and fly over the castle, you do see what's actually inside, and you count 12 normal kobolds on the walls. Most of them centered in to the front. We have 8 manning the walls facing the front side, and then 2 on the, well, if you're looking at the map, northern and southern side. And down in the courtyard, you do see a young green dragon currently dozing in the sun. A little bit bigger than the one you fought in the cave. And so far, he doesn't have seemed to spotted you.
Okay, then I'll continue the pass and see if there's anything else of noteworthy in the valley, and if that isn't there, I'll take a wide path around to go back to the guys, to the rest of the party.
As you go around and back to the party, you do spot that on the central road there seem to be a few kobolds and drakes lying in ambush, waiting for somebody to come along that way. But apart from that, your eagle eyes do not spot anything else.
Wow, whoever decided to not go along the road must have been a really smart person. Just super smart.
When I'm back at the group, I will first try to talk to Ubruk in eagle form. I don't know if he can still hear me, but...
God, what's the... How long does that last for? 10 minutes? Or is that the casting time?
You haven't put in the...
I just copied what was... I don't remember reading the length.
Duration 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Oh, it is 10 minutes, okay.
So you just have this giant eagle landing in front of you, suddenly screeching in your face.
What is it, boy? Are you hungry? Gassy? Gas? Is it gas?
He looks a bit aggressive.
Seeing as Ubruk doesn't seem to understand me, I want the eagle to attempt to roll with his eyes.
Alright. You attempt... No, you keep your own charisma, so it's alright. You roll your eyes just fine.
And then I want to transform back into Lassian form, and I will tell what I saw towards the other people.
Nope, you do have heavy kobold fortification towards the front gate. A little bit slightly, a little bit weaker presence on the northern and southern side. And you do have a slightly bigger dragons dozing in the yard. And then you have, well, the keep, which is basically closed off again, with one big portal and 2 smaller doors, side entrances, if you want.
Dragon complicates things somewhat. And we have somebody who can handle that now, right, Kodok?
Yeah.
Ubruk looks kind of thoughtful for a moment, and then changes his disguise so he looks like a really tall kobold. And then says, "Well, how about we just go up to the front door and I say I captured you all and you're all my prisoners? That would work, right?"
What's the kobold's normal height?
Like 3 feet.
So
how
like
tall are you?
Twice that. Over twice that, probably. I think I've got... There's up to like a foot variation you're allowed with the spell.
Yes, you would be a 5-foot kobold.
Yeah, so I'd be a pretty tall kobold.
And also, you do not speak Draconic, do you?
No. It's a brilliant plan. There's nothing can go wrong.
The idea is not bad, but unfortunately we can't really pull it off.
Would speak with animals work?
That's rude.
Losian, how far were that ambush?
How far was it ambush?
You would say from here 250 feet, maybe. Nah, more like 350, 400 feet.
How many kobolds is in this ambush again?
Wait a second. Let me spy with my eagle eyes.
What do your eagle eyes see, Losian?
They did see 6 kobolds on kobold hunting drakes. The red and green ones.
The problem is, I don't think there will be that much of an effect in a fight if we assault the fort head on. But it does make our job of crossing the river further away from the fort tricky, as I don't think we can pass in between them, so we would have to go quite a ways out.
Couldn't we just go fight them first? Bash some heads?
We could, but I have the drakes, which are quite fast, so if one of them tries to run away, great, they would make it to the fort and alert everybody.
I agree with Turin. We need the element of surprise with this.
Yeah, so do I.
I mean, I can make 3 people invisible without major problems.
Could you pick people up in eagle form?
I can pick up people in eagle form, yes.
Yeah, just throw us over the wall, it'll be fine.
So if we have like 3 invisible, 1 giant eagle,
Yeah.
and 1 eagle rider, then we have an element of surprise.
And one
Yeah.
giant kobold.
drop the giant kobold in with the eagle. I'll jump on his back.
No. The giant kobold will be invisible. But it helps. It just helps Ubruk think that he has the element of surprise.
Don't worry, they'll smell him before they see him.
Yeah.
Oh god,
and
we haven't
making
thought of that.
Ubruk invisible will probably make all sorts of problems for his motorical skill set.
So, what are you saying that I point to Gerald, Ubruk, and Kodak? You 3 are invisible. Try to scale the walls, perhaps. Blosian turns into an eagle or an owl again, and we fly.
That seems like a good idea.
If we have the ranger on the back of the eagle or in the eagle thing, shooting from the eagle or something, might work.
He might need to land me somewhere after you have cleared the other section, so he can fight as well.
Yeah.
But in theory, that could work. Unless the dragon kills him before that. In which case, I don't like my own chances.
That's the primary point.
Yes.
One more problem. Even though you're invisible, you would still need to cross the river. Which, well, water splashing around and then wet footsteps on the ground.
But we can do it further down the river and get somewhat
Yes,
get
invisible.
the water off us.
Invisible, you should be able to sneak in between the ambush side and the castle unseen.
How long does it last?
That's like 1 hour, I think.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue.
Should be enough.
So, should we try to get the top onto the dragon first, or between the walls first?
I would think that dragon first. If the dragon is down, then I can drop off turn almost everywhere. I think that dragon is the safest bet to take down first.
The thing is, only Geralt can really deal with the dragon from afar. Ubruk and Gothik would need to get close. Even invisible,
Yeah,
That's
but
gonna be real dangerous.
I mean, we can try to, deal with the dragon while they bash in the front door.
Ubruk looks pleased at the prospect of bashing things.
Can anyone ride a horse?
Do we have a horse?
Possibly.
Is this going to be the cloak again?
Yeah. we've got a patch, a riding horse with saddlebags.
I guess, but what would that help?
Cavalry.
I mean, this would suck for the horse, but we could always... I don't know if we have anything explosive at all, but, you pack the saddlebags with explosives and send the horse at the front door.
Did you say we wanted to go through the front door?
I mean,
Because I have a portable ram.
How portable?
I was wondering how long it would take.
I forgot about that. I was just
I've
looking
been
through
waiting
again.
for it.
Pretty portable.
I
I mean, we could try and sneak up to the gate, invisible, and then I sort of pull out the portable ram and we start bashing the gate down. It shouldn't take too long.
if you want to do it that way, I can just as well, summon an earth elemental to bash in that gate.
Speaking of summoning, that snake trick you did a couple of days ago,
Yes.
that actually might come in handy now that there's so much space and so many small kobolds to take care of.
How about if I took the ram and me and an earth elemental went and bashed down the front door and everyone else attacked from the back?
And how do we get into the back?
It's up against the cliff face, isn't it?
Sneaky,
Why
sneaky
would
thing.
Why would we care about the portal when we're inside anyway? Or the gate, I mean, not portal.
Well, were we going to go invisible and scale the walls then, were we? And do it that way.
I mean, why would we burst the gate down if we can get inside anyway?
Because you're attacking
Okay.
from two directions at once. And splitting their forces. Except, you're splitting your own forces as well at that point, so...
Split the party! Yay!
What could possibly go wrong?
Losian, I had to ask you one thing. Last time you were in an owl, you changed back pretty quickly after a few hits.
Yes, that's the primary thing with that.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, the kobolds, they have like bows and stuff, ranged weapons, right?
Yeah.
Wasp?
They seem to have, looking from the eagle perspective, they have been armed with both short swords and crossbows.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if even a few of them start shooting and a few of them hit and there's a dragon, I mean, you change back into your own form, you fall safely with your ring. Meanwhile, I'm left there, plummeting into the ground.
Yes, that is the absolute problem. Yes. So maybe then just bashing the front door in an all-out attack might be better.
Another thing, if we can scale the wall or if you guys can get a rope that we can climb easily, then I can just stay back for now, shoot from afar, and once you have established a beachhead, so to say, on the walls, I'll join you.
I have a 10-foot pole. You want a pole vault it?
It wasn't 20 feet high, the wall?
The walls itself are 12 feet high, and the towers at the corners are 20 feet.
So that would be a literal athletics check.
To climb.
Acrobatics, right?
Could be either, I
Climb up,
suppose.
it would be athletics, and to pole over, it's... I don't know.
It'd be acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah,
Or
probably.
both.
Okay, so climbing, I can do acrobatics, yes. Athletics is -1, acrobatics is 9, so there's a quite big difference there.
Sorry, what
Or-
did you say? How high the walls are?
12.
12 feet.
I mean, Lawson can just just send you over it.
Also might work. I'm 8 feet tall, yeah?
But are you strong?
Not really.
Oh. Well, the thing is, I think we can keep those kobolds busy with lots of snakes, but we need to take out the dragon, because that one's actually dangerous.
Yes.
They're not so tough when you hug them.
We
So, I want to get into a fire position as soon as we can, get the snakes, all over the fucking walls, to keep him busy, and then just get a drop on the dragon.
Or I can also cast a bunch of pixies to polymorph us into something that can scale the wall and do a lot of damage.
polymorph us all into pixies. More pixies.
Pixiception.
I need to look at the rules for polymorph, but
Here's another idea. Instead of me going flying on a giant owl, I'm one of the people who goes invisible. We scale the wall. Once we're on top of the walls, we'll have somebody like, I don't know, Godok or Ubruk on Losian. Well, Losian is not an owl, but something else that is big enough. So Ubruk can just jump up from on top of him onto the walls, and maybe Losian can climb the scale the wall as some sort of bigger creature. If you can do that, Losian.
the biggest creature I can convert myself into is the bear.
I could summon a 10-foot cube.
I like that idea. Well, the turn going invisible. Cube, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take down the dragon fast, I can certainly help with that.
I mean,
Don't start with your groupings over 200 feet now again, please.
An hour passes while you are arguing about the way you want to.
Oh, does that count as a short rest?
Yes, it does.
Can I attune to my armor?
Yes, you can.
Thank
Some
you.
stupid sound play when he's done.
And I don't know. Do you play a stupid sound when he's done?
Nah.
Then there's no stupid sound playing when he's done. What you do see though is there's some movement on the walls. You do see some kobolds moving out of the tower, and another batch moving into it.
Gossip, nothing unusual. So, Lawson, what about what you were talking about? Pixies?
yes, I can transform us all into Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
I said no dinos.
Then giant apes, also fine.
That's okay.
Giant apes.
Well, giant apes can climb over the wall.
I mean, if you transform yourself into an ape, and the other pixies transform some of the strong kobolds into, I don't know, rabbits?
There's an idea, actually. Yeah.
We get a drop onto
Yeah.
the dragon. Oh, you can't do pixies and snakes, can you?
No, it's one or the other.
What about changing the dragon into something else for a while?
The point is then, if I'm trying to transform it transforms something to equally as no wait. I can try, but it requires it's determined by chance.
Either way,
And
So
if
worst case, we
and,
then just have an angry dragon.
and if it dies, in that other form, it reverts back to being a dragon.
True, but we can finish off kobolds in the meanwhile. But either way, I do like the idea of polymorphing people into giant apes so they can climb the wall. But I would still rather go invisible myself and get in the position and be the one to initiate the fight. So can get the drop on the dragon that way. I mean, who's to say we could just polymorph people into giant apes and then make them invisible?
Or someone might have a spell that, can blow a big hole inside of that wall.
I mean, if Turin and I go invisible, which would also save me some spell slots, and scale the wall, and the rest of you just does a frontal attack as giant apes. And with the remaining polymorph spells, you turn some of the stronger enemies into useless ones.
By the way, is haste? Ah, it's concentration. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good.
I think the ape idea is pretty good.
Ubruk just kind of shrugs and says, "Can we go and bash some things now?"
I agree, actually.
Okay, then.
So, did you guys settle on a plan?
Maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, so Turin and Geralt will go invisible. Lothian is going to summon some pixies, who's going to transform Lothian, Ubruk, and Kodak into giant apes.
Alright.
Only thing we have to decide is actually where are we going to cross the river?
Well, if
Because
we're
to
going to
invisible,
scale the wall, then I guess the northern side.
yeah, but the thing is, if we as invisible people try to cross the river, they'll probably see that.
Yeah,
water
but
being
we can do it downriver.
Yeah, but then we would be split off.
We can back here. Can get back here. And then we
Okay.
would still be split off. Also just across a castle. See.
Yeah, well, I guess we could invisible go from here as well, just under their noses.
But climbing up there will be hard.
Throw a rope, like a lasso on one of the crenellations, and then climb up.
I mean, we can also get one of the apes to help us, maybe. If need be.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea to have a third one there from the get-go.
Ubruk's starting to look a bit fidgety at this point.
Actually, we can just get to the wall invisible. Once the ape is there anyway, I can drop invisibility and put a useful spell on you.
Yeah, but I want to be on top of the wall when we turn visible again.
Shit, yeah.
But yeah, you can drop it on top of there and put on
Yeah.
haste. Right. So 3 invisible then, 1 of the apes.
Yeah.
Before we transform, I'd like to cast Armor of Agathis.
So, Lozin, will you do the honors?
Sure. I will cast Conjure Woodland Being to summon 8 pixies.
Alright. Summon the pixies.
And 3 of them will stay behind and cast what is this difficult? Polymorph. Ubruk Gothhaken on me.
Alright.
While the other 5 will climb onto my back and we'll use their superior invisibility to stay invisible for the moment.
And I cast 3rd level invisibility to make... Actually, hold on.
4th level if it's 3?
Yeah, 4th level.
So I would say take Ubruk because he can take the... Actually, Ubruk is really good against the Dragon once he gets his sword out. I say Ubruk.
Yeah. Could just
Sounds good.
rush the dragon or something.
Ubruk might be better against mob control, or for mob control against all the kobolds.
Yeah.
Just remember, if I get hit and the concentration breaks, all of the pixie will vanish. And so will the apes.
Yeah, but we just need to get on top of the wall
Okay.
with them.
I mean, you can do like crowd control with the pixies for the first couple of rounds, I guess.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
With a master ape.
Right, so Korduk, Geralt, and Turin will cross a little bit further away the river and then try to sneak through here to get on the northern side.
Also invisible.
Yeah.
And you might. I don't have the things for giant apes, so you
Yeah, I'm already on it. I was
Okay,
about
good.
to say, once you're all prepared and ready for the fight, we're going to take a break.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was going to suggest that it might be a good time to
So
do that.
10-15 minutes, I'm going to get the tokens ready. And then you
Sure.
can start your well-planned attack.
I gotta tell you,
Ah.
if we'd gone on for much longer, I was gonna have Ubruk just charge across the river and start wailing on the front door.
You know, guys, this is also the reason why there might be another session. Like, holy shit.
What? This isn't
what?
that bad.
I know the feeling. You don't know how many times this has happened to me. Where I'm like,
Well-
okay, this would be just a simple assault on this thing. 2 hours later.
Because I was like, okay, they have a portable ram, they have a fucking earth elemental, they're just gonna shatter through, walk in, and that's it. But hey, let's do it with giant apes. I actually
Yeah,
like
why
that
not?
even better.
Yeah.
Just kill the main NPC now. And say it was some assassin.